Hey guys, it's Josh, and this is episode 3 of the weekly tutorials. Sorry I didn't make one last week. I got 3 major viruses on my laptop and had to reinstall Windows and sort all that out, so I didn't have my laptop for about 4 days, so it was a bit tricky to fit it all in. I had to reinstall all my software, so sorry about that. But this tutorial is about how to light Cinema 4D and how to get that glossy text that you see a lot of people have. So first of all, I'm just going to set up the render settings. If you click on the third one along of these clipboards, I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but that's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so if you go to output and then you go film video and down to HD, the HD setting, like that, and then you go to save, which is going to save it. This doesn't really matter too much because I'm just going to say it's PNG and tick alpha channel, and then multi-part, anti-aliasing, click on go to anti-aliasing and best, and then options I'm going to leave like that, and then you want to go down to effects and click on global illumination, and then leave that, and then your render settings are all sorted. Okay, so first of all we're going to make the material for the light. Double click down here in your materials panel and then double click on your material, change the color to white, and then click on luminous, tick the luminous and click on it, and by default it'll be on white. So that's done, and then what we're going to do is we're going to click and hold on this cube and go to plane, and then MoGraph cloner. Now if you go to your objects panel, drag the plane into the cloner and then click on the cloner, and you've got grid array. Now change the middle count to 1, and then the other 2 you can play around with, but I'm going to go with 7 and 9. Now all you want to do is you want to just drag it out until you have a nice spacing between them, and I'm going to have a bigger spacing between these ones, like that. And on the plane I'm going to just make these a bit thinner, and then go back to the cloner and make the gap a little bit less. Okay. Now I'm just going to click on the green arrow and drag it up a bit, and so that when we render this out, I'm going to highlight both the cloner and the plane, right click on them, Cinema 4D tags, compositing, and then untick seen by camera. Okay, so that when we render this we won't see them. Now drag this material we've made onto the cloner object, and we've now got our lights, which we can't see because we've added the compositing tag. Okay, this is the sort of basic office overhead sort of lighting. I'm going to show you a few different ways of lighting it, but this is the first one. Okay, now just going to go to MoGraph, MoText, just say Josh, and then the font I'm going to use Agency FB and bold because I like that. Put the depth up to 100, and then go to caps. Now caps helps a lot on making it look glossy, so if we go fillet, I'm just going to leave it like that, and you'll see when you render out in global illumination you've got we do that again, you see all this grey bit here and all the dots. That's it, tracing all the spots of light. So now if we double click and make a new material, I'm going to go with a glossy black. Now if you're going to go for black, don't go for completely dark black, because it looks bad, if you ask me, but personal opinion. So I'm going to go for sort of a dark grey, light black. Click OK, and then what you want to do is you want to click on reflection and tick it, and then drag the brightness down to 0 and click the arrow on texture and go to Fresnel. Now you want to drag this around about, you can play around with this really, but I'm going to have it on 27, and then we drag this onto the text, and then when we render this out you can see it's quite glossy. Okay, I'm going to make another text by going Control C, V, which is copy and paste, for those of you that don't know, and I'm going to go to 5, which will make it more rounded, and then I'm going to drag it out a bit and then re-render. Okay, so you can see it's quite glossy, this text. And you can sort of play around with how high and low and everything you want the lights, how far away from it, from the object you want to make glossy. Now if we click on the cloner object and go Control C, V, and then click on the rotation button up here and drag the red about 25 degrees, yeah, I reckon 25 degrees. Now I'm going to render this out, and it just gives you different angles which the light is going at, and this is how you'll find I do a lot of my glossy text. You render that out again, a different angle to see the gloss. Okay, now for a different way I do it, I'm just going to delete this cloner which I just pasted there. Call this version 3 if you like. I'm going to put, say, 3 in the middle count. I'm going to click on cloner and then drag the whole thing down, and you just completely immerse it in there. If your text doesn't fit in there, then just drag this out a bit, but mine does, so actually no, I might just make it drag it out a little bit. Okay. Now this sort of gives light from all angles. Sometimes I find this a bit bright, so I don't always use it, but sometimes I do. It gives it a nice glossy look. So yeah, that's about it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and please post for more results. What am I talking about? Please comment saying what tutorials you'd like to see in the future, but I've had quite a few people asking how I do my glossy text, so yeah, hope you enjoyed it. So yeah.